Hey, what's up guys? In this video we're going to be going over some real world examples. I believe this is part 4. So anyway, let's get to it. So we have a hi-hat loop, kind of what we were working on. So let's take a listen. Right? So to me it's kind of hitting too hard. So what I can do is just simply bring the threshold down and see how it reacts and go from there. So check this out. Right, we can kind of tame it more. Right, we can adjust the character. You know, if we want to kind of take away that harshness of that transient, right, release sounds okay. We can increase it a little bit. So typically I like to have my release go back to 0, and just as it gets back to 0, for a rhythmic material like this, I want it to get back up to 0 and then go back down again. Right? Right, so it's a good way to kind of tame things. There's also an output. Right, so we'll bring it to roughly the same and we'll see what it sounds like. Right? You might want to do this on your own, and it's a good way to kind of see what it sounds like. I think this YouTube video might not do it justice, but I have 2 more examples that you will get. Alright, so let's bring the threshold back to normal. Okay, cool. Alright, we'll go to the next sound here. Alright, so a lot of dynamics going on here, which is quiet to loud, and not so loud, and then not so loud, and then quiet. So it's jumping around quite a bit. So what we can do is we can do a kind of glue ratio. Let's bring that up 10 around. Well, we'll go 5 to 1, and let's see what's going on here. We'll bring the threshold down. Alright, so it's bouncing around a lot. So what I want to do is increase the release. And increase the attack so those tone percussion tabla things come through. Right, so we roughly have the same kind of volume, or the output, or gain I should say, but it's a lot more tame, and there's a lot going on here. Well, not a lot, but quite a bit to the transient, but it still kind of perceivably remains the same loudness. That's just how our ears are built. Right, we can boost that. Right, or we could completely kill it, or we can have really fast attack and a slow release, and a gentle kind of ratio. Maybe that's a little too fast. Maybe I should go 1 second. And that's a good kind of ratio to kind of glue everything together. Yeah, that's all well and fun. So this last one, probably the best example out of all 3 of these. So what I'll do is play it here. Right, a little too intense, a little too processed for me. So what I'll do is I'll bring the threshold down to where it bites. Right, I will set the release so it kind of takes a while to go back to normal. And what I can do is I can bring the attack down, so it completely alters the timbre of that sound. Right, and that would be good for something called multiband not multi-band, serial compression or parallel compression, where you'll have, say, another snare on top of this, but you'll have the reverb of another one. But we won't do that. So what we can do, we can bring the ratio up quite a bit and increase the attack so we get the punch of that clap snare thing. Right? Completely changes the character of that. Something that's really intense and in your face to something more so natural. And yeah, that is a compressor used to not so much squish things, but to make them sound more natural and pleasing. Anyway, that would be the practical examples. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, but I'm going to do something. All right, take care.